Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I fancy tucking in some tasty food and drink, and I've picked 4 kitchen gadgets that might get us there a bit easier and a bit quicker.
Oh, I like the might.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Bring it.
Number 1, lift the cloche.
Oh, the Koopa Cooler.
A Koopa Cooler?
A Koopa Cooler?
What do we think it might be or do?
It's a cooling machine of some sort, I believe.
To cool your Koopa?
To cool my Koopa, which a cooler would insinuate it's a fridge or a cooling mechanism.
This is the Koopa Cooler, the rapid beverage chilling appliance. It claims to chill drinks 90 times quicker than a fridge.
Great, okay. I'm kind of interested.
Well, we're going to have to put it to the test. There is a bottle of wine. Pop the cork. Let's take the temperature of it before we start. They reckon they can chill a room temperature bottle of wine at about 25 degrees down to 6 degrees in 6 minutes.
Okay, that would be impressive.
BS. BS.
I know, that's why I bought it.
We would all have a Koopa Cooler if that was the case.
Oh, I literally have already taken the cork out for you. How have you managed to break it?
Yep, 21 degrees.
21 degrees. So it's not actually as cold as they say is the extreme they can do it to. They say 25, but I'll still be impressed if this takes it down to 6 in time. Add 30 ice cubes into the machine. Pour 2 cups of cold water, that's 16 ounces, into the ice water bin. Place your beverage container horizontally. Wine. Choose this setting for wine bottles or bottles of thicker glass. The cycle time is 6 minutes.
I wasn't expecting that.
A can in 1 minute, a regular beer bottle in 3.5 minutes because the glass is thicker, and a wine bottle, 750ml, in 6 minutes.
That is fast.
Well, while it's there, let's take the cork out and put the probe back in. Let's see. We were at 21. In 6 minutes, where are we now?
It's on 6 degrees!
Okay. The BS that I was describing earlier is...
Brilliantly superior.
Yes. That actually worked. How did that actually work?
I'm really confused as well. You're a wine expert, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, as in, I like wine.
Yeah, you like your wine. You describe this wine as like, there aren't many other white wines that you want ice cold. This one works really nicely cold.
No, I don't think that one would. I think that one's a Burgundian. You probably want a few degrees warmer than that. It's just the only one we had on the shelf.
How white is this wine meant to be, Mr. Expert? It's a red wine.
Pour it out.
That's terrible.
Pour it.
Oh no!
I thought it earlier when I put that in.
I
was
didn't
like,
even
that
look
looks
at
red.
it. That's the one I wanted. It was literally on the shelf next to it.
So I think there's any need to test any other gadgets. We've peaked.
We'll chill down the nice one. We've done another 6 minutes. It claims the ice in there will do it up to 5 bottles. So a couple of examples they give of when you might want to use it for people who don't like to pre-plan or forget to chill beverages.
Yep.
To fill up valuable refrigerator space for more perishable goods, especially if you're hosting a party.
Yeah.
For boats, RVs and tailgate parties.
The fridges on boats are really small.
Yeah.
And you can only get like 1 drink in there, so this does make sense.
I get all of those use cases as long as you can keep 30 ice cubes
Yeah.
frozen at the same time. But
This is true.
30 ice cubes freezing is probably going to take up less room than 5 bottles of wine.
Yes, and a different space of the section. You're not
Yes.
freezing wine.
No.
The ice cubes are in the freezer. If you're short of fridge space, then this means your wine doesn't need to be in there.
Wonder if this one's turned red as well.
Get the probe in. Now, granted, this particular white probably doesn't need to be as cold as 6 degrees, but has it worked?
Yep, we're down to 6 degrees again.
That is very impressive.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I wasn't expecting to like this machine.
Very surprising because it worked. The thing that's thrown me most is if it is for a social occasion, are you not better off with a big bucket of icy water and putting lots of things in it, rather than a small bucket turning one at a time?
A bottle of wine will help to give more than one person a drink, whereas a can of beer is only going to be for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the spin with the wine and the 6 minutes, that's certainly a lot colder than even putting a bottle of wine in an ice bath for 6 minutes will do. And whilst 30 cubes of ice is a fair number. You'd probably need 2 or 3 times that for a big ice bucket. And of course, the ability to chill drinks down to ice cold without forgetting about them and them exploding in your freezer. Let's talk price, and we should point out that that particular one is second hand. We got it off eBay and was relatively affordable. But if you were to go out and buy a brand new one, which is slightly more modern design and materials now, a Cooper cooler, how much?
I reckon around £30 would be a fair price.
That's what we bought ours for, second hand, but brand new, 184.
Whoa. Can't you buy like a freezer?
Takes 40 times a lot more longer.
No matter how much the designs have changed, if it still does the same thing, that's still a lot of money for something that's going to cool one bottle at a time. £30 seems reasonable for something that I had no idea you ever needed.
Does that rapid beverage chilling appliance get any cooler?
Oh.
Or would you cool it a day?
Am I going to say it? It doesn't get any cooler.
Yes!
Oh my God!
I mean, it does exactly what it says on the bottle. Right, let's bring on number 2.
If you're enjoying this, there are some small things you can do that make a big difference to us. Like the video, subscribe if you aren't, click the notification bell and select all. Thanks.
Okay, Baz, we'll keep you in the hot seat for number 2, since you're doing so well.
This is a wine cooler, isn't it?
This is the Hilo. Looks familiar, works differently. A revolution in wine cooling with eco-credentials keeps wine at fridge temperature for an hour on the tabletop using just 5 cubes of ice.
So it's going to maintain a temperature rather than lower to a temperature.
Lucky that we have a cold bottle of wine.
Okay, we're now at 7 degrees.
All you need to do is put 5 ice cubes in the bottom of the ice cooler, and because of its sleek design, the bottle will now sit on top, but not in the ice. So it claims to maintain a temperature as close to fridge conditions as possible, where wine can rest on the tabletop without losing its cool or being over-chilled. Compared to many conventional wine buckets and tabletop coolers, this uses thermal conduction to actively chill the wine because it's made from aluminium. But in comparison to other examples that I've certainly seen would be ice buckets that need lots of ice and then water. And therefore, this is being used certainly in the restaurant and hospitality trade, because if you've got one on your table and your waiting staff or sommelier comes along and pours it to you, you don't need to wipe away the drips. No more soggy labels. It's not submerged in water. It's just sat on top of 5 cubes of ice in aluminium, so that it's drip-free when you pour it and keeps it cold at fridge temperature for an hour. And as a comparison to lots of other wine coolers, I mean, different shapes and sizes, some you pre-chill, some you add in lots of ice. They claim that this is 92% more efficient based on its conductivity as aluminium, but also the reduction in ice cubes you need, which you would have had to freeze.
I've used these before in the past, like ones you put in a freezer or whatever it be. This feels like it's trying to do something that isn't like necessary. It has to be phenomenal, a bit like the Cooper cooler, to be worth talking about.
Like it's trying to solve a problem that doesn't necessarily exist.
It's a problem that's already been solved.
To be honest with you, we're not going to know much about this until we've tested it for an hour. So should we move on to gadget number 3?
Now, Ebbers, at the start of this video, you said we were going to make a meal, and these 4 kitchen gadgets might help us make it easier and quicker. So far, we've tested 2 gadgets to get wine cold and keep it cold. Very
Important, you don't want to drink warm wine. Now let's cook something to go with cold white wine.
And red.
Lift the cloche.
Oh no, that's got garlic on it. Does it peel garlic?
This, Jamie, is a garlic twist crusher, pressure, manual garlic crusher, garlic peeler, crusher, stirrer, garlic twister, presser for kitchen tool, garlic crusher for mincing garlic, ginger, nuts, shallots, olives. I think they're after an SEO title, but that's what it is.
Wow.
I think the logic is that in a convenient, fast and easy to use way, it will crush 3 cloves of garlic as per all of their video and image instructions.
Okay.
There's only one way to find out.
So I peel them first?
Yes. One of those many gadgets that, because we're foodies, we get pushed our way on various social media platforms. So needless to say, we've not been sponsored to talk about this. And all the images I saw had 3 cloves, so fair test. Once you've got those in, you basically clamp the 2 together and you manually twist. And the more twists, the finer your mince.
Is it easy?
Yeah, it is easy. I think even you can do this. I mean, I'll be honest, that has worked.
What's your gut on this one?
My gut says I know how to chop garlic. And if I'm chopping garlic, the chances are I'm also going to need to chop some other things. So if I'm using garlic, the chances are I've already got a knife and a chopping board out and ready to go. This is an extra piece of equipment that I don't need, but if I don't have a knife and a chopping board to hand, or I don't have the dexterity for a knife, that does the same job. It's a one-trick pony. It's for garlic. You might be able to use it for ginger
Peppers and ginger,
stuff,
maybe.
but it does the same job as the garlic crusher, the levered garlic crusher that I've got at home, which is like a traditional way of doing it. And I do find that useful sometimes.
Price-wise, what do you think?
I mean, to me, this has got $4.99 written all over it, and maybe $3.99 at a push.
Close with your second guess at $3.97.
Pretty close.
So they're not.
You're laughing, but it did the job, and at £3.97, it's hard to argue with that.
So the final question, did it crush the manual task, or does it just grind you down?
It crushed the manual task. It did the job. I now have garlic, whereas before I didn't, and it's £3.97. If you need one, you're going to buy one. I still don't know what food we're making. We have cold white wine, cold red wine, and some raw garlic.
Let's move on to number 4. Number 4, lift the crotch.
Oh no.
It's a toenail clipping set again.
How big are your toenails?
So we've got a really sharp side of the knife there, and then a serrated side of the knife here, and then a pointy bit of the knife here.
Any ideas?
Something you want to hold still, and then something you want to very precisely.
Right, let's keep going. This will be interesting. Let's say you weren't holding it and you were inserting it.
I'm going to put that into somewhere
Perhaps.
and open up a cavity.
He's not wrong.
I'm going to put you out your misery. This is a 2-piece shrimp peeler and deveiner.
Oh.
So rather than having to peel the
Yeah.
shell off big prawns, you should be able to go
Nope.
in and then your other device is to get the black intestinal
shoot.
tract,
Poo
the
shoot.
poo
The
shoot,
Poo shoot. Yeah.
out of the bigger prawns as well.
Shell shrimp shells into the middle of the shrimp shell and shrimp. Plug in the end of the department.
I think that might be direct translation. I've got some English instructions here.
Shake hands.
So it claims to be useful for all types of seafood, lobsters, shrimp, crab legs, anything you like to enjoy delicious food with.
And it's good for fashion. It's good for fashion.
No.
First, remove the shrimp head.
We'll use those to make a lovely little prawn stock. Insert the tip of the shrimp peeler along the tail, firmly pinch the handle, and the shrimp shell will fall off.
I mean, it's on my glasses, but it near enough fell off. Look at that.
Look at that.
That was actually very easy.
See, we're such poo-pooers until it works.
Wait,
Oh, about the poo-poo.
about the poo-poo.
Oh, you got another gadget for that. You got your deveiner. You can go in and scoop out.
That's a hell of a lot quicker than doing it by hand.
Now, here's a question. Can you do it with the head still on? Because presentation, I love serving prawns with their heads on, but so they're still easy to eat. You've done the shelling part.
Nice. I would never be able to do that bit without making an absolute mess of it.
Now you've used it, what do you think?
It made a job that I dread so much easier. I think that was really helpful.
While we wrap up this section, why don't you whack some crushed garlic into some bubbling butter, and after a minute or so, whack in your prawns. Now, whilst they cook away, Jay, let's talk price.
I think they're between £10 and £15. I'm going to say £12.50.
In which case, a bargain at $7.99 for the two-piece set. The peeler and the deveiners, they come as one. Would you have a pair?
I think it depends on how often you're going to use them. Like how often you're going to have prawns like this. At home, next to never. However, in Spain, where we go, and we get seafood a lot, far more useful because we're there for, I don't know, 1 to 2 weeks and we'll get it 3 or 4 times during that time and we'll cook them up at home. They definitely make that job so much easier and cleaner as well than trying to do it yourself.
So, the final question. A cracking crustacean peeler or just the devein of your life?
It's a cracking crustacean peeler, definitely. And fashion.
Let's get the prawn served up and back to our wine.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a look at the temperature of the wine.
It's still at 7. Mind blown. You know what, that is actually quite impressive. I was expecting a couple of degrees higher, and I wouldn't have been disappointed if it was. If you're looking for an efficient and effective wine cooler, wine holder that keeps things cold, then this works.
How much do you reckon?
30 quid.
That's 45.
It feels like it's designed for a restaurant more than a home. And I like it. It's not offensive at all.
So the question for you, the thought of one of these at home, does it keep your cool or do you lose your cool?
It keeps its cool. End of sentence.
Another one of those gadgets that I think has surprised us today. Comment down below, which of those 4 would you want in your kitchen, if any? Let us know.
And as always, please keep sending us your kitchen gadget recommendations. The great ones, the average ones, and the absolute tat. Who knows? They might actually be great.
Should we eat this now,
Yeah,
please?
I want a prawn. Do you reckon, I've only just realised this, does the Cooper bit refer to anything that might come from a product that has gone through cooperage, i.e. barrelling? If you're a Cooper, is that not, you're not a barrel maker, are you? Like he's a tailor.
I'm a spaff.